This is my plan to shred body fat in the next 90 days. And throughout the video, I'll share how you can too. So we got three main categories here. And this is gonna be a whiteboard video just talking about the plan and of course, sharing the plan along the way as well in further videos. So basically when you guys watch this as of today, which will be March 17th, I'm 99% sure. It'll be Monday, March 17th. I will start my personal 90-day body fat transformation. This is my plan. I'm gonna go over exactly how I'm gonna go about it, but then how you can tweak it to fit your own specific numbers too. So I'll go over a few things like maintenance calories. Obviously, that's my maintenance calories. So you'll have to make an adjustment to yours, but you can still follow these steps and learn how to shred body fat in 90 days along with me as we prepare for the summer. And we wanna be lean, obviously, get our abs back, all that kind of good stuff. So, starting off with our diet here, biggest thing you have to know going into this is your maintenance calories. And if you don't know your maintenance calories, you can go online and search TDEE calculator and get an estimation. But what I found is best for most people is to spend, let's say, maybe 2+ weeks eating at a certain amount of calories, tracking that, knowing, okay, is your weight going up, is your weight going down, and then determine your maintenance based off of that. And personally, I've been eating, I would say an average of 3,000 calories a week, some days high, some days low, but on average 3,000 calories a week for the last several weeks, and my weight's only been going up about 0.3 to 0.5 pounds per week. So I know my maintenance calories is under that. So instead of 3,000 calories, I'm gonna estimate my maintenance to be around 2,700 calories. And what I'm gonna do is go ahead and say, okay, if my maintenance is 2,700 calories in combination with increasing my steps, which I'll talk about later, as well as decreasing my average calories per week, I wanna establish around a 500 to 600 calorie deficit on a daily basis to lose the body fat. So for me, I'm gonna take the 2,700 calories and subtract 400 calories. Now, in order to get the 500 calorie deficit, you could just subtract from food, or you could also increase your steps or your daily output. So for me, I'm getting about 10,000 steps a day. 12,000 steps is my new goal, which will probably bump up my calorie burn by about 100. So between 100 calories of more steps burned, as well as decrease my calories from maintenance by about 400, I'll create that calorie deficit. Next, I'll go ahead and break that down into what my actual days look like. So I'm gonna be someone who actually is gonna save up for what I call a social refeed, or a day dedicated to more calories with the goal of trying to still enjoy and have flexibility throughout the fat loss process. So for date nights, family dinners, events, happy hours, whatever it is, I'm gonna have one day at 3,000 calories, but the other 6 days of my week are gonna be 2,200. So that gives me one day to have some flexibility, to have a bigger meal for family. My birthday is gonna be during this fat loss process, so definitely having some extra calories for that, little things like that. As far as the macronutrients wise, I'm not overly concerned about carbs and fats. I will say there should be one note, fats, I'm gonna write this down, let's say, and then fats at 40 grams plus. So as far as macronutrients go, I wanna be at least 160 plus grams of protein per day. My body weight right now is around 173. My goal weight is around 160. So I basically take my goal weight, multiply that by 1, and basically say I wanna get 160 grams of protein each and every day. As far as fats go, dietary fats are important. We know this for nutrition absorption. Certain vitamins and minerals are fat soluble, as well as just general hormone production. So I'm gonna say my fats, the lowest is gonna be about 40 grams, but I do tend to get a little bit higher fat in my diet from eggs, steak, avocado, butters, things like that. So that's not a major concern for me, but if you do go really low fats, I would definitely recommend getting about 0.25 grams per pound of body weight. So that's a little bit below that, but no worries there. As far as the other quality of food, so this is the quantity, right? The quantity of our food is the 2,300 calorie average, the protein, the fats, right? That's the quantity or amounts. But also the quality of our food is very, very important, right? The reason why people fail at diets or why they don't lose as much weight as they want to lose is because they have so much hunger, right? Eventually, hunger ends every single fat loss. And my way to minimize my hunger is to maximize my food quality. So I'm gonna be aiming for about 90% whole foods. I'm talking fruits, vegetables, proteins, rice, potatoes, what else? Dairy products, cheeses, milks, eggs, all that kind of stuff, right? The majority of things are single ingredient whole foods. And of course, 10% will be things that are slightly processed, things of fun foods, right? My birthday is gonna be during this process. I'm gonna have some fun foods. So 90% whole foods, mostly as you see here, mostly fruits, vegetables, and proteins. And of course, working on other things like eggs, avocado. Well, avocado is, I think, technically a fruit, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe a vegetable. I can never remember. But other things like that, maximizing the volume, and things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, rices, chickpeas, pastas, things like that are also great additions to make full meals that taste good. Also, I'll be doing daily tracking. So I will be tracking my calories every single day. I also plan to do a little series where I actually go through my 90-day process, make a video, like a little vlog every single day for the 90 days. It'll be a vertical vlog, so it'll be on YouTube, but it'll be as a reel or a short on YouTube. So my plan is to track every day, share with you guys exactly what I'm eating, and 3 to 4 meals per day. So right now I plan to work out in the morning, so I'll probably have like a pre-workout snack, something maybe like rice cakes and peanut butter, or rice cakes, banana, something very simple, mostly carbs, give me some energy when I go to the gym. I'll come back, have a post-workout meal, probably a mid-afternoon shake of some sort, like protein shake, and then a bigger dinner. So I'll kind of break those down. My goal is really to have probably 3 similar meals every day, like the pre-workout snack, the post-workout meal, and the protein shake will probably be the 3 similar meals every single day. I'll eat the same, that I find something I enjoy and stick with it. And then dinner, I'll let fluctuate based on if Katie and I want to have certain foods. If I'm craving something one week, if I do meal prep, obviously that's probably dinner for the week, things like that. That will change, but of course I'll be documenting that, going through full days of eating and things like that as well on the channel to come. So my goal, 3 to 4 meals. Sometimes that might be 2 if I'm traveling or really busy. Sometimes it might be 5 if there's like a random event where I have to actually like kind of snack throughout the day. So that would depend, but ideally 3 to 4 meals. Next, we have our training. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the diet category. Carbs, fats, micronutrients, tracking, definitely doing some meal prep, as I mentioned, for like some of those meals, like obviously rice cake, peanut butter, pre-workout snacks, really easy. I will definitely get some eggs in my diet. I just love eggs and the healthy fats, the protein. So I'll probably cook those fresh, but like protein shake doesn't take any time to cook. I'll probably do a decent amount of meal prep, whether it be taco bowls or maybe even some chicken thighs, things like that. So definitely be doing some meal prep to help save me on time, at least cook the protein ahead of time, which is great. And then yeah, I'll take you guys through that. I'll film like some grocery hauls and things like that throughout the 90 days as well and share them on here. As far as training goes, so training, this is something that's gonna be different for everyone, right? So anywhere from, I would say, 3 to 5 training sessions per week is gonna be a sweet spot, right? For a beginner, someone who's super, super busy, you can definitely get away with 3 training sessions per week. Try to do full body sessions, so you hit that 2 to 3 frequency per muscle group. Focus on mostly compounds. 4, upper lower split is perfect if you're training 4 days per week. I would run that pretty much indefinitely. And we also, for me, I have a 5-day workout split, which is gonna be basically an upper lower split modified. So I'll do, let's see, I'll do chest and arms, lower, back and shoulders, lower, upper. So it's still the 2 times frequency per muscle group. It just happens I can take one of those upper body workouts and split up into 2 different sessions. And you guys have been seeing me, I'm gonna be doing the exact same training I've been doing during my hernia recovery and my rebuild series, just making some modifications to the new gym I have, but still doing the same 5-day split, chest, arms, lower, back, shoulders, lower, upper, 5 days per week. So I will maintain the same. But like I said, you can do anywhere from 3 to 4 days per week, no problem. Next, we have tracking and following a program. So I will be tracking my progress. I do track my workouts, my weigh-ins. Biggest thing here is to make sure that you still try to follow a program and stick to the progressive overload that you're going for, right? That continually to try to get stronger in the gym. There might be something to be said about, like, let's say maybe 4 or 5 weeks into a dieting phase that it might slow down a little bit, but it really depends on the person. I have plenty of clients that lose 30, 40, 50 pounds of body fat and continually get stronger and build muscle over time. So it really depends on the individual, depends on their training history, depends on their experience, on their genetic limitations in terms of muscle mass, how close they are to their natural limits of muscle mass as well. But definitely recommend following a program, being consistent. Don't go into the gym and just wing it every time you're there. You're not going to see the progress you want. You're going to be all over the place. You're going to be very confused about why you're stronger in some exercises, why you're like weaker in others. It's just a recipe for disaster. So follow a program, track your progress, keep high intensity. So as much as when you do go into a dieting phase or when I go into a dieting phase, my carbs come down, my energy kind of slowly dwindles over, I would say, weeks and months during a dieting phase. My goal is to keep my intensity high. And when I say high intensity, I'm not talking about getting my heart rate up and do like a HIIT workout. I'm talking about trying to lift heavy like I did previously during my building phase. So this is not about, oh, I'm going to the gym, I'm just gonna go through the motions. Like, I still wanna keep high intensity, I still wanna keep heavy weights. Typically, right now I'm doing lower volume, higher weights. So I'm not saying get your heart rate up and like be sweating and panting as you lift. I'm saying lift heavy and lift hard. That's the real thing here to maintain our muscle mass, right? We need the stimulus from the training that then gives our body the signal to say, hey, like we want to hang on to this muscle mass. Like Jack or whoever you are, you're training your body, make sure that you maintain your muscle mass, and we're going for fat loss, not just weight loss. That's a key difference, and high intensity training along with our high protein diet is critical to that, and of course sleep too. We'll touch on here in a second. So then we have 2 to 3 runs per week. This is honestly more so for like health and performance. So obviously it does burn a little more calories, but I'll be counting those runs that I do per week towards my 12,000 steps. So I'll kind of touch on that here right now, where my goal, I don't do specific cardio sessions, right? I don't do 30 minutes of cardio 2 times a week. I don't burn 300 calories of cardio on the stationary bike or the elliptical. Everything I personally do, and this is a personal choice, is through my step count. So when I do my runs, my 2 to 3 runs per week, I will basically say, okay, hey, like if I do a 2-mile run on Thursdays or whatever it is, a 3-mile run, that's going to be probably about 7,000 steps. So all I have to do the rest of the day is get another 5,000 steps to hit my 12,000 step goal. But of course, if you like stationary biking, if you like the Stairmaster, if you like the rowing machine, you can make adjustments. Maybe you go ahead and say you just have 8,000 steps as your goal, and you do 4 rowing machine workouts per week to burn some extra calories. So there's some flexibility there, but for me, I just like to keep it simple, just count my steps. If I ever do something different, like I'm trying to think, typically, like, I mean, even golf, which is obviously something I'm gonna do this summer, is step related. I do like biking, so maybe if I do bike, I'll kind of just like, okay, hey, like I don't need 12,000 steps. If I do like a 30-minute bike ride, maybe I'll only estimate like 8,000 steps for the day. So there's some flexibility there. It's not about being perfect, but I do like the step counts, are really easy. As far as the runs go, I wanna get better at that. That's something like, I'll be honest, I don't enjoy running, but I wanna also kind of get over that lack of motivation. I don't think I've ever been motivated to go on a run in my entire life. But I rely on the discipline of realizing, hey, like I want to be healthy for a long time. I know your VO2 max directly impacts your health as you age. So I am running with the pure intention of improving my health, getting better at running, and doing something I don't want to do, relying on discipline, and then that's how I'm going to get my 2 to 3 runs. So that's there. And then form is king. So as far as that goes, just making sure that when we do train, focusing on our high intensity, we don't sacrifice form to keep weight heavy as we lose body fat, right? So like I will admit, some of my weights or some of my lifts might go down, right? My hack squat, for example, if I go from 173 pounds to 160 in the next 90 days, decreasing my calories, going a little bit lower on energy, I might not be able to hack squat as much as I currently do with 13 more pounds of body weight on my frame and also all the energy and food I have right now. So I want to make sure my form stays consistent. So form is king in the sense, I will not sacrifice my form to have more weight in the gym. If I need to pull back my weights, if I need to pull back my reps, whatever it is, eventually I will do that to make sure my form stays similar or the same so I don't get injured and I don't have any risk of being like, oh, well, I'm making progressive overload, but my form's breaking down, right? Progressive overload is when you have similar form, similar volume, similar progressions, and then you see gains over time. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm a little bored. I think that should be it. Obviously, as far as like workouts and progress and programming, like you definitely want to make these things as enjoyable as possible. I know I mentioned that I don't like running. It's like, Jack, why would you do that? Well, honestly, there's something to be said about even if you don't like something, there's still a lot of benefits to it and you probably just want to do it anyway. So make sure you can still find exercise you enjoy, but weightlifting, making sure it's like science-backed programming, volume, things like that. But at its base, that's training. And then I'll go ahead, move over here. I think that should still work. Can you see? Yeah, so lifestyle. As far as this goes, so this is kind of like the overarching kind of lifestyle and consistency factor. Like as far as our diet and training goes, those are pretty specific. Those are numbers, those are things to do, those are statistics that we track. Oh, also I should say a big thing, accountability along with that, I guess we can say down here, daily series, but also daily weigh-ins and progress, photos. Gosh, that's not, it doesn't look very good. It's hard to write. But okay, so lifestyle wise, this is more so about making sure that we have an enjoyable experience and that fits into our life rather than takes over our life. And there will be some things to be said about like, okay, you will have to make some adjustments. Some things might have to change, right? Nothing changes, nothing changes. But as far as lifestyle goes, two of the biggest things I talked about are sleep and steps. These things are things that we also are going to track and try to aim for, Number one being our 8 hours of sleep. And this can range, I think for most people, you want to probably be in that 7 to 8 hour range. I find there are probably very, very few people that can function at a very high level for a long period of time under 7 hours of sleep. And this depends on the person too, right? Like obviously I have clients that are parents that have to wake up, that only get maybe 7 hours of sleep. But the biggest thing there, we're trying to maximize that as much as we can. So for me, I said 8 hours is my goal, but really 7 to 8 hours is going to be my goal during the next 90 days. And just make sure that I can hopefully maximize my sleep as much as possible, and it'll help with my energy and my fat loss. We talked about the 12,000 steps goal. This thing is, I don't want to say easy to get, but I have a standing desk and a walking pad, and that combination right there makes this the easiest goal of them all. Like literally, I can answer emails, I can edit, I can take calls as I raise my standing desk and walk, and I get those 12,000 steps, no problem. So right now I've been doing about 10,000 steps, occasionally more, occasionally less, really just depends on the day. Like yesterday I walked around downtown, I got like 18,000, but 12,000 steps is my new minimum, considering I've been at a 10,000 average now, excuse me. 10,000 average now. I'm going to be bumping that up to a 12,000 average going forward. But still, this is more of a weekly average. I'm okay if there's a day where I'm traveling or sick or really tired, and I say I only get 8,000 steps. That's completely fine, right? That's not that big of a deal. But then by the end of the week, I want to get a 12,000 step average. So I want to get maybe 13,000 the following day, 14,000 the next, 15,000 on the weekend to make my average be 12,000 steps. So don't beat yourself up if you ever miss your step goal for a day. I'm very type A. I'm going to want to hit it on a daily basis. But at the same time, if something happens, don't worry about it. You can go ahead and increase the steps the rest of the week and hit your 12,000 goal average by the end of it. We have our time management as well. So this is where it comes down to everyone has the same amount of time, right? And I know this is going to sound something like from a guy who has a girlfriend, no kids, no dog, no nothing. I know so many people that no matter what, they still make this a priority for themselves, right? And everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. And I can guarantee you, you'll find someone who's busier with less time and still making time for this. So it's not about not having enough time, but if you don't make it a priority, then yes, you won't have enough time. But if you do make it a priority, you'll make the time. So that's the key difference there. So time management, making sure that we do schedule these things in. I have clients that literally put in their calendar, like workout, just like a meeting, just like the dentist, just like a doctor's appointment. They put that workout in. And the biggest thing there is like, it's not selfish to do a workout, right? To spend, let's say 45 minutes to an hour, 2 or 3 times a week to get those workouts in, maybe once on the weekend, is not selfish. It's something that you need to do to feel at your best, perform at your best, look your best, and then of course attack all the other areas of your life. So time management is going to be a big thing, making sure that I do get those in. And I personally love working out, so it's something I actually want to do and want to schedule in. So for me, I will say it's a little bit easier, but it wasn't always that way, right? It's something that you kind of get better at and grow into. Next, we have our balance. So key here is meals out, alcohol, and stress are typically things that people need to either balance out and or work on. So as far as meals out, biggest thing here is I don't really eat too many meals out, but I know there are a lot of instances where people do. So we still want to track those. And the best way to track our meals out is to use something similar. So let's say you're having Italian food and you don't know the exact macros, what you can do is go someplace like Olive Garden and say, okay, hey, Olive Garden, like what does a chicken parm meal look like? Or what does a certain soup or salad look like? Same thing with barbecue, right? You can go with City Barbecue. You can use those macros for a local mom and pop shop with burgers, fries, steaks, whatever it is. Find something similar from a fast food chain that has to put out their macronutrients and calories by regulation. So you can then get the information and still track those meals out because they will happen, right? But my goal is probably eat out a maximum of like 3 or 4 times a week. I won't even go that high, but I would say 2 or 3 times a week are the meals out. I'd much rather cook at home. It's cheaper, it's easier, and it tastes better in my opinion because I can make it exactly how I want, right? I get the exact seasonings, sauces, proportions that I want. And then of course, having a meal out now and again, nothing wrong with that. Alcohol-wise, for me, I don't drink alcohol unless it's a wedding or I'm on vacation. I don't have a wedding or a vacation to attend or a wedding to attend or a vacation going until the vacation in June, which I'm kind of cutting for. So alcohol for me will not be an issue, but if you are an I almost said alcoholic. If you are a consumer of alcohol, biggest thing there is to still track it, right? The calories still matter, but not only the alcohol calories, but be careful if you overconsume alcohol, it leads to the midnight munchies. It leads to you picking up some Taco Bell on the way home. And those kind of things can have a really big impact. Plus it affects your sleep, plus it dehydrates you and probably leads to a hangover, maybe a decrease in activity the next day. So as far as alcohol, the concern is not necessarily the, let's say, 300 to 400 calories from drinks one single day. It's the overconsumption. It's the drunk decisions that you make to consume the Ben & Jerry's ice cream when you get home or the Taco Bell on your way home, plus the effects the next day. But stay very well hydrated, superset waters in, things like that if you are gonna be drinking alcohol. As far as stress goes, finding ways to relieve stress are key, whether it be going for walks in nature, reading a good book, hanging out with family, friends. Like today I'm gonna go golfing. Hopefully it's warm enough and stays warm enough. You can do a cold plunge, which we got over here as well. So things to help you manage stress will also help you manage the consistency with all these other things, right? Our diet, our training, our lifestyle. If we can't be consistent, we can't manage our stress, that's also going to impact the results and the time frame that you can actually stay in your calorie deficit for. Then that also will affect obviously how successful you are with that calorie deficit. Next, we've got clear goals. So like I said, well, maybe I didn't say earlier, but my goal, oh yeah, I did. My goal is to get to 160 pounds. It's a very clear goal. I have about 12 weeks to lose 13 pounds. So 1 pound per week on average will get me to my goal. So clear goals. Also tell people about your goals. There's no need to hide this and keep it a secret, right? Like I'm telling over 70,000 or 78,000 people on my YouTube channel right now that my goal is to lose 13 pounds, get down to 160, get to around 10% body fat and look shredded for summer, right? I tell my friends, I tell my family, my girlfriend knows, everyone around me knows I have this goal. And since I do have that goal, they will support me. They will not ask me like, hey, let's go get drunk, let's go get pizza, let's go get burgers, and tempt me with things that I probably shouldn't always have, right? I can work those in moderation, but clear goals, also share your goals. And that helps with accountability here, right? So for me, accountability is going to be posting a daily series, right? Every single day over the 90 days, I'm going to post my full days of eating, maybe in combination with workouts, weigh-in updates, some tips and tricks, things like that along the way. That's my form of accountability. Plus, like I mentioned, the 70,000 people on my YouTube channel and the couple thousand on my Instagram that will be seeing me on a daily basis and have heard me say this goal at this point. So get some accountability, whether it be telling your spouse, your family, your friends, if you do have a personal trainer, get a coach, whatever it is, tell them your goals, speak that into existence, and you have to kind of hold yourself accountable, right? You have to keep your own word to yourself. So I also mentioned daily weigh-ins and progress photos. So these things, I'll be doing daily weigh-ins. Obviously, you have to track your weight to know what's going on. And the biggest thing here, I don't freak out about a single weigh-in that goes up or goes down. We're looking for weekly averages over time. And then progress photos, I'll probably be doing those maybe on a weekly basis. I don't know if I'll take a progress photo every single day. Maybe I will for the series, but at the same time, at least I'll do that weekly. And then also, of course, have some progress photos throughout the gym sessions, training sessions, things like that. So get some accountability, speak it to existence, tell people what you're doing. I know sometimes people think, oh, like the work in silence and then show your results. And hey, if you're that kind of person, you found great success with that, amazing. But if you tried that in the past, not telling anyone you're trying to lose weight, you want to surprise everyone, especially don't try to surprise your spouse. Inform your spouse of your goals. That's the number one thing I noticed with working with clients is having a partner on board or at least supportive of you or to do things with you is going to be so important. If not, it's going to be the biggest barrier to entry. As far as that goes, that's a lifestyle. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, most importantly, kind of setting up goals and achieving them. So biggest thing here is I've set this out for myself, right? Just like I do with my clients, just like hopefully you at home watching this video can do for yourself, right? And now it comes down to action. We have the game plan. We have the ideas, the things that will get us to our goals. And now it comes down to execution, right? Doing the daily tracking, doing the 90% whole foods, doing the meal prep, getting to the gym hopefully 3 to 5 times a week, doing those workouts, getting your steps in. Once we do those things, then the fat will just melt off, right? We don't have to worry about that. We have to worry about this stuff and executing, but the body fat will come off if we do these things. So I honestly don't know. Let's see how long. Okay, about 23 minutes. That is a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping for like the 15-minute mark. But if you guys do have any questions, please make sure to leave those down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer all of those questions. Hopefully, I was pretty in-depth. I don't think there's anything I'm missing specifically as far as like my exact plan. Like I said, I'll give you guys some full days of eating. I'll give you guys some grocery shopping or some grocery hauls along this 90-day fat loss transformation, making some videos about it. And of course, that daily series I mentioned as YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Reels, so I can share the exact process and exactly what I do on a daily basis. But I guess the only thing, I plan to do the cold plunge, hopefully 3 times per week. This is in my parents' garage, so I'll be, let's say, probably 10 minutes away, so hopefully I can make it over and do some cold plunges 3 times a week. Also try a sauna at least 2 or 3 times a week. I'll actually probably do both of those today at some point. And then I think that's it. So before I make this too long, like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and do my best to help you answer those questions for yourself. But probably the most important thing is trying to figure out your maintenance and then be consistent, right? Track data, take your daily weigh-ins, track your food, track your workouts, and you can use that information to make adjustments just in case you might need to change something along the way. Like for me, I might have to adjust my calories after like 1 or 2 months. This might have to decrease. I might have to go to 2,000 and 2,800. But obviously I'll keep you guys updated on that. But hopefully this is enough to get me heading in the right direction, and then potentially maybe just increase my steps too. So without further ado, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time. Peace. Wow, okay, real quick, probably one of the most important things I forgot is water. Stay hydrated. Drink a gallon plus water. Even when you're not thirsty, drink first thing in the morning. Stay hydrated. Do not try to let yourself get dehydrated and catch back up. Think about like preventive maintenance. You want to stay hydrated so you're never dehydrated. I think that's probably one of the most important things. So across the board here, we're gonna say, let's put it over here, hydrate. Boom. See you next time.